Everyone, it's Nick with Us versus Herd. If it's your first time here, you like the content, hit subscribe. If you want to get notifications from when we go live or when we post videos, tap the bell. And if you want to join the UVH fam, links are below in our description for our Discord, our free option trading group on Facebook, along with our Patreon. What's going on, Keith? If you're here right now, say what up. How's everyone doing? Happy Monday. We are back at it. Back at it. Jeff, what's going on? Yeah, we had. I would say today was boring. like we had a gap up, sure. I mean, we had a gap up, but I mean, SPY from where it opened like 307.70. I mean, it stayed between 307.40 and 307.80 like the whole day. I mean, I was just like, Tactical, what's going on? Health Rebel, how you doing? How's it going? How's everyone's Monday going? We're just getting going. I guess it wasn't bad that it was like a slow trading day or a slow day in the stock market. Get the blood flowing a little bit. Yeah, Joshua, it is coming. Should be coming any day now. I'll let you know. I'm thinking it's more towards. I think it's gonna be like. I think Webull options gonna come more before Thanksgiving, versus like tomorrow. Got 1,000 GE call contracts. Nice. What's your exit strategy on that, crypto? Ariano, what's going on? Loving Mondays. Got paid on Nvidia. I mean, Nvidia was definitely one of the movers today. Where do I think FIT is headed? I think it's headed right into Google's hands. $7.30 a share. But yeah, if you made money today, comment got paid. If you lost money today, comment learned a lesson. Right now we're watching Uber strategy all in. Yeah, well, I mean, if you had something for 2 cents go to 5 cents, I mean, you got to start thinking about an exit here. I'm just saying, or at least take some off the top. I mean, if you have, let's see here. I mean, if you have, so it cost you $2,000. Yeah, I mean, at least take 10,000 off the top, Just saying. Just saying. We are drinking a Bai antioxidant cocoa fusion. That foo-foo stuff. But I guess what I like about it is it doesn't have any sugar in it, and it has caffeine, which what I'm addicted to. Okay, so let's get. Is it good? Yeah, it's good. You can go to Costco. Crypto, if you want your 20K back, you're not going to get it back all in one trade. I think 13K is a good start to getting back that 20K. I would just cash out and start over. But hey, that's my opinion, and I think my risk profile. I mean, I do some risky trades sometimes, but my risk profile, I would say, is way lower than most people. I mean, I'm not trying to Wall Street bets it. I'm not trying to get the tendies. I'm just trying to consistently grow. But hey, to each their own. We all have different strategies. Okay, so today, I mean, I didn't really do a whole lot today. I was relatively flat today. I think my biggest loser today was McDonald's, but I still have. I turned into a strangle. But let's get into it. We'll start with my first closing trade of the day. I close out Boeing. I had a debit spread on there. Eric, what's going on? Amazon went up in that 1830 call on Amazon recovered my losses. Congrats, man. If you made money today, comment got paid. If you lost money today, comment learned a lesson. Okay, so let's go into Boeing. So Boeing, I had a debit spread on. I was able to get out for like 35% profit. I bought it for $1.14, sold it for $1.47. I had the 345 call and I sold the 347.50 call against that. And then Boeing. What I was worried about Boeing was this like 350 area. We did break out. Boeing did break out this afternoon above 350. But over the last week or so, it hit like the 349 area twice and got rejected. So that's why I took profits. I actually had November 15th expiration, so not this week, next week's expiration. So I had a lot of time on it. Could have waited, could have got some more money, but I was really worried about, since I'm more of like a support and resistance trader, I was really worried about that resistance there. Yo, Boris, what's going on? So now that we're breaking out above this, so if we can get to 352, I think that I'm going to add some to go to like the 360, 370 area. Trade small, trade often, too big of trades. Yeah, I mean, to touch on this real quick, having big swings in your P&L, I mean, some people think it's good. My general belief about big swings in your P&L is not healthy. It means you're gambling, you're getting a little risky. You know, if you go, let's say, up 10K, down 5K, up 25K, down 30K, I mean, unless you have like $1 million account or even a $500,000 account, I mean, maybe then, but if you don't, you really need to be consistent. I mean, so do you rely on volume candlesticks for buy and sell signals? No, I mostly look at support and resistance on the 1 year, and I trade that. So I've been loading positions on Boeing around 340, and then it's been paying me over the last week every time it reached up to like the 350 area. So over the last week, I think I've made like 2 or 3 trades on Boeing that have worked out. I kept loading up in the 340 area and I kept selling around the 350 area. So that's what works for me. So Boeing, that was the only trade that I closed today was Boeing. So nice little win there. Nothing gigantic, but really, I had a pretty big Friday. Made decent money on Friday and pretty much cleared out my position. So now I was really just starting to build up positions again. Purposely like myself from Robinhood, so I can only tell my position. I did buy another Disney call. I think I'm up a couple bucks on it, up $4. Disney, I'm gonna be playing. I made some money on it last week. Disney, let's see here. Disney has earnings on Thursday, I think. Let's see here. November 7th. So yeah, they have earnings after close. And what I'm looking at, Disney started to break out here. Obviously, it came back down. I put this on. I bought it for 74 cents. I bought the 138 call at 8.55. So I bought it right down in here when it was starting to kind of recover. It did bounce out, but then sold off the rest of the day. But due to all right, guys, be nice. I mean, we're all here. I think this community is pretty positive. So we're all at different levels in our trading career. I mean, some people and everyone, like I said, everyone has different risk profiles. That's why, like, I always urge people that, you can look at anybody, take advice from anybody, but at the end of the day, you need to come up with what works for you, because we all have different risk profiles. We all have different account sizes. We all have all these different things. So, you guys are crazy. So I'm looking for Disney to kind of break the 135, hopefully run up to like the 136 to 137 area by Thursday. But at this rate, I mean, it's really going slow. I'll probably just, if by Wednesday nothing's happening with it, I'll just cut it. But due to earnings, we're not going to be really losing money to Theta if it kind of stays around the same price. you know. McDonald's. So I did put a trade on McDonald's. So as you guys know, McDonald's, their CEO, you know, they were doing, I don't know, they said it was consensual, so I guess that's good. Wasn't like anything about the Me Too stuff, but the CEO was dating a employee or had an affair or blah blah blah. You know what I mean? Doesn't matter. But since it's a gap down from 194 and it opened around 190, I bought a strangle on it. Initially, I was actually just buying calls. I bought the 190 call and I bought the 185 put. Kind of overpaid on it a little bit because I was trading it right here when it was like 189.50, and then we broke down, and then when we broke down, I added the put. So we'll see. I'm looking for on McDonald's. I was kind of hoping that it kind of goes to the 192 area. What was my initial target was a 192 area. But now that we're sitting around here, I mean, this could definitely go down to like the 180, 185 area. So McDonald's we're stuck. Yeah. So now I'm kind of bag holding this, but we'll be fine. We'll be fine. But yeah, I mean, I really didn't do many trades today because when the market moves slow, you gotta move slow as well. You can't just be hopping and stuff. I mean, I should have traded Tesla and I should have traded Nvidia, but you know, it is what it is. I did put it on an Uber earnings trade, so let's go over Uber real quick. Uber's lockup period. Well, let's get to here. Let me actually refresh this because it might be a little old here. Uber, look at this, quarterly loss topping $1 billion. I mean, made money selling spy spreads, Daniel. Nice. I can't believe McDonald's still got popped for that. You are professional. Yeah, I mean, I was saying, like, in terms of the McDonald's CEO, I mean, I really hope she was worth $16 million a year, you know. He better marry her. I want to see in the news that he married her because, I mean, if it was just a fling, I mean, you know, it's definitely, I would say, well, guys do stupid stuff though, you know. I mean, like, they're not necessarily thinking clearly. They just think about one thing. And apparently that's what happened. So he better marry her. Anyways, they beat on revenue. They beat on EPS. They had a 68 cent loss versus an 81 cent loss. So I was kind of looking. I don't know. I hope it was Uber hurt me. I'm going to go over my trade right now. We're just talking about Uber. Aaron, AU, what's going on? I'm holding Uber puts. I'll probably get crushed from IV, though. She was the French fry girl. All right. So we know there is an expectation of profitability, and we expect to deliver for 2021. So he didn't say anything about being profitable. He just says we expect to deliver. We know there's an expectation to be profitable, but you know we're going to deliver. Doesn't say what we're going to deliver. We expect to deliver for 2021. Well, he says there is an expectation of profitability. I mean, it doesn't mean anything. Uber raised guidance for its full year, so that's good. The company bumped its guidance by $250 million, saying it's now expected EBITDA loss of $2.8 billion. Okay. I mean, either way, I mean, their financials are a freaking mess. In the lockout period, when is that coming out? I think like 2 days from now, right? So I mean, they beat earnings. I guess you can. I don't know, how do you say that? It's like, oh yeah, we lost $1 billion last quarter, but we beat earnings. I mean, expectations are so low for this company, it's ridiculous. But you know, that's Wall Street for you. I don't know if you want to call this the top or whatever you want to call it, but we're here where a company can lose $1 billion in a quarter and they still beat estimates. But Uber. So Uber, right now it's at 29.56. You know, it's down a couple bucks. It closed at 31. It's down to like $1.50 or so. Pivot on Uber. So what I have on Uber, I sold an Iron Condor. I have 4 of them. I have the let me show you this thing here. So, okay, I sold 4 of the 2650 puts, and I bought the 26 puts, and then I sold 4 of the 3450. Excuse me, 3450, and I bought the 35 calls. So, and I paid, I mean, I got a 23-cent credit per contract. So let's put this trade on here. So I sold 4 of them. So my max profit's $92. My max loss is $108 on it. So I really needed it to stay. I needed to stay between like 34.50 and 26.50 or like 26. So it was neutral. But you can see here I put the puts a little bit lower. Here's the 1 standard deviation line right here. The 1 standard deviation line. I put the calls. It was a tad bearish on the Iron Condor. So I had the calls on the inside of the 1 standard deviation, and I had the puts on the outside of the 1 standard deviation, because I felt like, you know, the one thing that I got worried about is, as you can see, look at this volume of the strikes for Uber. I mean, insane. Like these 26 strikes here, 16,000 volume today. The 28 strike puts, 16,000 volume. 29.5 puts, 5.5 thousand volume. But then if you look at the calls, I mean, the calls are nowhere near that volume. So it was heavily skewed to the put side, and I tend to be a little neutral when that happens, because if you're too skewed to one side, a lot of times they try to burn that side. So yeah, Uber's currently 29.25. How do you lose a billion? I mean, that's Wall Street. I mean, that's what I said. If like Americans, if they go bankrupt, but if a company goes bankrupt, they go to IPO. If an individual doesn't have any money, we go bankrupt. But if a company doesn't have any money, they file an IPO and raise cash. Except for WeWork. WeWork had to get a bailout. Even WeWork was so bad, Wall Street said no. That's how you know things are bad for that company. That was bad. All we need is for 8:31 to get there in the morning for Uber. I mean, Keith had on an Iron Condor as well. So far, I think we're looking good. Watch hedge funds come in tomorrow and buy Uber up. Yeah, the only thing you guys gotta be concerned about is the lockout expirations in a couple days. That means insiders, when they went to IPO, shareholders are now able to sell their shares. So, and if you guys look at Uber, I mean, it hit a high of 47, now trading at 29. Did hit a low of 28.5 back in October. So that's why I kind of sold those puts around there, because I thought maybe it could bounce there. And since my Iron Condor doesn't expire till Friday, if one leg got into the money, I thought that there was a good chance it might come back into range. I was able to close it out for a small profit. So I would say it was a pretty safe bet. I was looking between Uber and Shake Shack, and Shake Shack, as you can see here, is getting decimated. Closed at 84, now trading at 71. Then missed comps and same store sales and all that. But on Shake Shack, the reason why I didn't trade it is, I can't even show you. Okay, here we go. The reason why I didn't trade it is mostly because the volume wasn't there on the calls or the puts. I mean, it was okay, but the bid and the ask was pretty wide on a lot of these here. But as you can see, there's not much volume in the calls, not much volume on the puts. And the expected range was $8, so plus or minus. They're supposed to go plus or minus $8 on that. And I really didn't like where the chart was It's really in the middle. It was really in a mid-range chart, like unlike Uber. So if you look at Uber's 1 year, why I chose Uber's floating towards the, the lows, where Shake Shack is mid-range right now. In mid-range, I mean, it could easily go up to 100, come down to 70, and as you can see, it's now down to like the 70 range. It's at 72, 72, hit a low of 70, 80. So I don't really like doing iron condors for earnings trades when we're mid-range like this, and we're, it's a coin flip. At least if you're at the bottom of the range, like on Uber, not saying there's much support there, but it bounced around here for for a week or two, and it bounced back up, and it was headed back down to kind of retest that area, and that's kind of why I was looking at the those puts. So I had the 2650 puts, and I which is below this 28 mark. So that's pretty much why I decided to trade Uber over Shake Shack instead of, some people are like, for earnings, I'll just trade both and see what happens, but you really need to plan things out. You really need to. So far, Uber is working out. I mean, who knows what it's going to open at, and who knows what they're going to do on the conference call. I mean, they could do anything on the conference call, right? Like they could totally say, "Hey, we're going out of business tomorrow," or on the conference call they could say anything. So we'll see what happens. Let's get through the conference call, and then we can, see what happens. But like I was saying, you really want to plan the trades out. Losing $1 billion, down $100 billion doesn't make profit. CWIN. I am in Disney right now. I have the 137 calls I bought today. I did trade Disney last week as well. I made some profits just on this earnings run up. I'm not going to be holding through earnings, and I don't think I'll be selling premium on Disney for earnings as well, because I think it's going to be crazy. It might not be, but so my goal for right now for Uber is really to exit at open. I'm not going to try to squeeze every penny out of it. I'm not going to try to do that. I'm just going to try and collect my premium and move along. Like if this opens at like 29 and 30, I mean, perfect, nailed it. We're going to be making 50 to 80% profit on it. It'll be nice. So I'm not looking to some people with earnings, when they're selling premium, they look to take it to zero. But the longer that you have the trade on, the more you're opening yourself to risk, right? Where things can happen. So in terms of my trades, that was it for me. I did, kind of looking into things here. This week, I'm going to be looking at CVS, Roku, Square, Wynn Resorts, Teva, Walt Disney, of course, and that's pretty much what I'll be looking at. You said Chegg did well. Someone said that in the chat here. Who said that? AU. Can't type. Wow. 33. So yeah, they're having a little bit of reversal. Would be interesting to see if we could break above this resistance here. They have monthlies only, but the volume is good on these. So it wouldn't have been a bad trade. See if we can get above 33. See if we can get above 33 here. Yeah, their expected move was $4, and it's currently moved $4. So I don't think Chegg calls would have paid 3,000%. I mean, look, if you had these 35 calls, let's say you had the 35 calls in the delta of 8 or 28. And it moved $4. I mean, these are going to be worth, let's say, $1.75 tomorrow. So that's not 3,000. It's more like 300%. But still, I mean, still good. Still good. Don't get me wrong. Still good. 300%. Nothing wrong with 300%, but definitely not 3,000% or 1,000%. So, I mean, you can calculate, if you calculate the delta and how much these are worth, and then you also have to account, I'm not accounting for Ivy Crush either, so I'm not sure how much that's going to be, but just so you know. It's kind of how you do some quick math in your head on how much things are going to be worth, tomorrow. But if you were selling, it would definitely would have been better to buy the 30 calls, because you could see here you could get the dollar delta here versus the 35 calls, you get the 28 delta. So, you know, these were more money, of course, but if it moves up $4, you're going to be making, you know, these are going to be worth 480. So, you know, that's another. So it looks like these calls are going to be running between 300 and 400% tomorrow, depending on where check opens. But still good play. Still good play if you're long. You know, I don't typically like to buy premium in earnings. If I'm going to trade earnings, I'm going to sell premium, kind of like I did in Uber. But I personally hate earnings on the big name stocks I trade, because a lot of traders jump in, creates a lot of whipsaw. In most cases, I'd rather trade a stock when everyone is over there losing money while I'm... Yeah, Qualcomm, I think, is what, Thursday? Or tomorrow? Qualcomm is the 6th, so that's Wednesday. So, you know, I think in terms of Uber, we should be okay. So we'll be collecting some premium on that. What stocks you guys want to look at? So, I mean, I didn't do a lot of trades today. I will be doing I'll try to do a watch list later. I didn't get to do my watch list yesterday. Yeah, Groupon. Teva, I think, is interesting right now. They have earnings this week as well. It's really at the top here. It did break out. It's at 880 now, but last time it came up here, it sold off. So, Fit for me is not really a trade because I mean, they've been kind of going down a little bit, but I mean, Google said they're going to buy them for $7.30 a share, or $7.15 a share, or something like that. So it's really not gonna. I don't think Fit's gonna really move a whole lot. One of my trade ideas, though, that I had that I was kind of playing around with is, you know, AU. Thanks for subscribing to the channel, man. Appreciate you. One of the trades I was thinking about putting on before this run up, I was actually looking on Friday. One of my ideas was doing a debit spread on the 10 and 11 Teva for January 2020. Kind of far out there, but for 27 cents, you have a max profit of $73. So you could, you know, if it runs up, you know, to 10 to 11, you're going to be making a max profit. It runs up to 12, you're going to make a max profit of like $73. So that's kind of what I was looking at for risking 27. You know, buying a couple of these contracts. You know, if you bought two, you know, you risk 54, you get one. You know, max profit's 146. So if you make 100%, 150%, you know, it's pretty nice. So I felt like this was a very low risk, high reward, and these were actually cheaper on Friday before we had this Teva run. Steven, I sold an Iron Condor on Uber. If it's going down to 5, that's in January. Well, Health Rebel, but Google already agreed to buying it at that share price. So it doesn't matter if Fit goes down to 5 or goes to 10 or whatever. They've agreed to buy it at $7.30 a share. You know, yo, Steven, thanks for subscribing to the channel, man. I'm working on my tools here to become a better streamer. I can see when you guys subscribe or. You say Uber 24 stock price by 11.8. Yeah, I mean, I can see that. So that's why I'm going to be exiting. That's why I'll be exiting my position on Uber. Yo, Manny, what's going on? If you're here right now, say what up. If you're just joining us, say what's going on. I already went through my trades. I didn't have a lot of trades on today just because the market was so slow. We're just kind of going through some of the earnings plays right now. And right now, Uber. So right now I have I have an Iron Condor. So let's see, Uber's at 29 right now. I think that it either opens up here or like 28, maybe 27. So I'm gonna have to exit quick. I'm gonna have to exit quick. So usually what I'll do is I'll start queuing up my orders for open. So I'll put an order in for like 5 cents. I'll put an order in for like 5 cents. So I bought my Iron Condor for 23 cents. I'll put it in for like 5 cents. Get a fill on that, hopefully. What do you think of UA? Dan Lee. Under Armour. So I would just be very cautious with Under Armour because they're under investigation for accounting practices. I mean, as a support and resistance trader, I do think like being at 52-week lows is interesting to me. But the reason why they are here is for potentially breaking the law. So this could go to 10 or 5 if they find out. And I mean, Under Armour has been doing well. It was doing well this year up until last quarter, and now they have this, these accounting practices. I would be very slow to enter if you're going to trade this, because what happens a lot of times. Gurpreet, thanks for subscribing, man. What happens is kind of like Boeing. Once bad news happens, the media starts to look for more bad news, and more bad news usually comes after. Like last week we had the the CEO left for Under Armour. So I would be very slow to enter. I would definitely, if I was going to trade Under Armour, and I'm not going to say I'm not going to trade Under Armour, but let's say I do, I'm going to wait for a time of consolidation for things to kind of die down before I kind of layer in a position. Stamps going to have a volatile week. One thing that was interesting today, if you're talking about stamps, is UPS UPS was up big today, and so was FedEx. FedEx was up $8 today. So that was nuts. So I believe you. Groupon, yeah, I mean they're selling off right now, 280. Groupon expected move was 46 cents. So they're right. They're still in range. They've only moved 20 cents. They closed at $3, now at 280. Yeah, AU. I mean, it doesn't mean because there's a lot of open interest. I mean, those people could get burned. Doesn't mean it's going to go there. But I see what you're saying. So, yeah. I mean, what's interesting? What's interesting here is we're going to keep pushing new highs right now, and market volatility is going to be very slow. I mean, if VIX increased today. VIX is up 4% today. That's kind of interesting. Even though we were just chilling all day. So VIX was up 4%. It did go up to 13 today. It's starting to climb up a little bit now. So definitely interesting. All right, guys. Well, I'm about to jump off. I will work on my watch list video. You guys, I use VIX when I'm sick. That's if you guys haven't yet, I do post all my trades. I hang out in the Discord all day. Come hang out with us on Discord. Links are below. We're also on Facebook. We have a Facebook group on there as well. And Nick's about to hit that vape. I don't vape. I don't smoke. I don't vape. You guys have a good one. Stay safe. Stay green. It's us versus Herd.